Alright, g'day guys, how's it going? Welcome to my inaugural video here. So what I'd like to do today is just take you through one of my probably all-time favourite games, Street Fighter Alpha 3. It was 03 in Japan, and I was first exposed to this game through a LAN that I did many years ago, probably around 2003. A couple of us guys set up the whole night, swapped some files and games as you're prone to do that age, and yeah, managed to get a MAME instance and had things like Metal Slug, Puzzle Bobble, that sort of thing. Yeah, Street Fighter Alpha 3, that was a very interesting find. I initially came across the Street Fighter Zero series in the list. Actually, pretty much all the Street Fighters were on there. Including Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which was based on a PC experience, probably the one I remember the most. I was absolutely terrible at it, but yeah, the Zero series was sort of the key there. But anyway, without further ado, let's get stuck in and see this game. You don't want to hear me waxing lyrical on it all night. This is my first video. I'm going to be bumbling about. Let's get into it. Got a bit of a MAME 32 shortcut on my desktop here, and I'm sure some of you MAME experts will be absolutely ridiculing me for that, but it is what I used to use. I have an archive copy of it with some ROMs here, and it works damn well. And actually one of the things I like most about it is it's a very easy thing to configure if you want some graphical settings, even though Direct3D is not completely working on my system. You can sort of turn the scan lines on and off very easily, set all your stretching properties. It's all very easily accessible. So let's get into it. It's got the usual disclaimer here, bypass that. It's got the overly enthusiastic narration coming through there. We'll just let the tracked mode run for a bit. You can see the intro. Yeah, so the intro sequence is very dynamic. You know, it's got that sort of Saturday morning 90s cartoon feel to it, similar to the likes of X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, all games that came around about the same time. They've all got that sort of in-your-face style of presentation. Of course, the anime style graphics really finish it off, and you can just see the presentation of this game is absolutely outstanding. The music, the UI, graphics overall, it's just got a real punchy flavour to it, really in your face. Street Fighter Alpha 2 or 02 was a bit more subdued in that respect, and a lot of people prefer that, but look, I'm a bit of an arcade fan, I'm a simple man. Just, you know, give it to me straight, bright colours, I'm happy. So let's pop a couple of coins in here. It's a nice little touch on the genuine MAME emulation here, that you can actually do that you lose a bit when you get the ports. There was some sort of collection released recently that had all of them. I have that on multiple platforms, and you still don't get that little wee nice touch. Alright, so we're going to go with a bit of Cammy here. Really like her character. So Alpha 3 has this ISM system, which honestly I've forgotten how it works. I think simple is power, A-ism is a bit of a mixture, and the V allows you to do some advanced combos. I've never really got to grips with the V, so I'm just going to go with A, just because this is a bit of a play. See some history of the character here. Now, these screens are actually different on Street Fighter 03. I will note you get some sort of biographical information, height, width, that sort of thing. I really like that wee red coat that she throws off there. Whoop, I haven't actually turned the difficulty or tuned even, so my apologies if I'm just crap at this. I'll attempt to pull off at least one super move. There we are. And he blocked it. Despite my poor performance here, I am actually much more at home on the keyboard, having grown up with the likes of Primal Rage on the PC. I'm just not dexterous at all when it comes to, there we go, the sort of sticks, and definitely not the D-pads. I know a lot of people prefer those, but I've just never really got to bloody grips with them. There we are. He's not too tough. I suppose he was the first opponent, so I'm probably in for a world of hurt after him. And one nice thing with this game, and also Super 2, is that you can sort of hold down buttons during the little intermission stages there, and sort of speeds up the transitions. He's got some great, very easy moves. Cannon spike down towards kick, and there's sort of a dragon punch movement combo. There we are, super combo finish. That's what you get if you keep spamming it and you've got no shame. Lightning. So semi-dodgy pose there. I think it's sort of Hail Vega. Vega is the Japanese name of M. Bison. It's another difference between the international and Japanese versions, but Cammy is supposed to be in her Killer B stage at the moment. She's under the mind control of Bison, hence the different get-up. Allegiance to Shadow Lu, which is Bison's villainous organisation. I think I wish I could demonstrate some other moves here, but Dan is just asking for this. The music on this game is so good. To me, it's got sort of like a mod sound. If you guys remember the Amiga, very distinctive sampled approach there, with a few really nice instruments, a nice guitar. Killed by Dan. What an embarrassment. The backgrounds on this game are wonderful. So sort of, you know, you've got the golden hour look going on here. So atmospheric, so beautiful. Straight out of the pages of a nice high quality manga. Yeah, so that dragon punch-esque move, the cannon spike, is sort of like that zigzag Z move, which I've always personally hated. But I might just try resetting this with a different character. I actually managed to do it. I'm impressed. So Ken was actually another good character. Let's see if we can do some of his moves. Speed through that. Ken's a pretty popular character. You don't really need to know his background, and this stage in particular really emphasises the quality of the animation. Look at all those people doing Tai Chi there, it's pretty cool. Oh, it was my favourite move, but yes! I actually did it! I'm amazed. See if I can get her with that fire punching yet. I honestly don't know how people do these moves so quickly, especially that dragon punch. You know, they say, oh, when your opponent is jumping in on you, just do that. Well, look at the speed at which this game is taking place at the turbo mode. I really, you know, we're only human. Well, hey, jeez, I definitely needed that. The health bars up there. So let's see if I can. Oh. There we are. Nil super at the moment. Never been able to do the combos properly on this game at all. I always found that, you know, you pick a reasonable, you know, simple skill level that you can have fun on, enjoy the graphics and the presentation of the game, just have some fun. Yes, there we are. Hey, getting the hang of that dragon punch there. Nice. That's one of my favourite moves there, the hurricane kick. Oh. Yeah. That's another very close call there. Let's see what's up next. Rainbow Mika, definitely one of the more flamboyant characters, shall we say. Of course, featured in Street Fighter V as well. And a friend of Sakura. If you're into any of the character backstories. The Street Fighter Legends series, speaking of that, by Udon, is definitely worth looking into. There's a very nice one on Sakura there, which I have to own. Just doing random moves here, not really thinking too much about it. Ah, hey. This must be on a reasonably easy difficulty, I'd say. But I actually prefer this game to Street Fighter 3. Never really had any exposure to 3 in my youth. This was sort of the main. This and Super 2 Turbo were the key ones for me. One thing I disliked about 3 was, and this is something that a lot of people like about 3 actually, is that all the animation kind of, to me, made it a little more difficult to control and time your jumps. Hits and that sort of thing, it just felt a little more complicated. Whereas with the jerky animation on games like this, it just feels a little easier to get into the flow of. I love Rose's stage. The music is so good. I'm going to try and shut up on this one. Just turn that up a wee bit too. Don't even mind dying on the stage because it just means you get to hear more of that awesome music. Heavy Swell on Zangief's stage, the Soviet Ironworks, is another really nice track. And if you get all the way to the end of the game, regardless of whether you lose or win, you get a really nice track called Daybreak. And I actually think that the losing cinematic to the game is a bit more interesting than the winning one, so take that as you will. It's got a very cool scene there. If you're interested in seeing that, I'm sure you can YouTube it, or just crank that difficulty way down, spam moves like I'm doing, hopefully a bit more successfully, and get to see it for yourself. Oh my god, I'm doing terribly here. Never really got into Rose as a character. It was a bit too unusual. I do like her character design though. game over. And interestingly, it actually says that at the end of the game. Game over, try again, even if you win. So it's a bit of a harsh one. But yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll pick another game or task for next time. Look forward to seeing you then.